Sammy02, how are you? Hello.
Yes, hello. How are you doing? This
I'm
is
good.
Sammy. So what
Let
you're
me just
doing?
turn down, 1 minute, let me just turn down the background music because I can't hear you
Sorry.
actually. Alexa, volume one. There we go. Okay, yes, Sammy, how are
How?
you?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you so much. So,
Great.
you've been so fast up on my panel, I haven't actually had a chance to introduce the topic. So, let me go ahead and do that. So,
All right.
again, guys, my topic generally here is English people. And I haven't actually done an English topic for quite some weeks, but now it's back to usual programming. So, my question is English people, why do they love racism, pretending to be smart, disliking others, and lying so much? That is my question of the day. So, Sammy, what would you like to add to the topic?
Uh, I would rather listen for now.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I
Okay.
would agree. I mean, but
What sort of
yeah.
observations have you made, would you say? Do you
That.
live in the UK?
Yes.
You do. Okay. How long have you lived in the UK or were you born there?
10 years.
10 years.
I'm from
Okay.
Russia.
You're from Russia. Okay. So tell me like a little bit of the observations that you've managed to make, perhaps in comparison to Russian people and how they live and how they treat people.
Well, in Russia it's kind of more open, whereas in England it still happens, but it's kind of covert, so people don't say the words.
Are you talking about racism itself?
Yeah.
Okay. So in Russia, you say it's more overt. In the UK, it's more covert. Have you experienced any racism or any discrimination yourself since you've lived in the UK?
In terms of like fake reporting, yes.
What do you mean by that? Can you share a little bit more?
Like people when they make mistakes, they like I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's like they try to chase every single mistake you make when you're like just studying, doing anything.
Is this at work or at school? Are you talking about in career or
This is
education?
college. College.
This is college. Okay. So is it the teachers that are doing this, or is this other students?
A bit of both.
A bit of both. Okay. So this is interesting. So I'm 42 years old and I've obviously had many, many years in the education system. What I found, and in my conversations, it's definitely been a case of people just always trying to assert their superiority over you. Like I say, they pretend to be smart, right? And a lot of it is a case of they want to seem smarter than you are to put you down because it's quite an insecurity that they have. Because
Yeah.
why do people feel like they need to correct each other or, just go past their boundaries? And it's definitely a case in schools, especially, I mean, for Black and brown people, it's the same. Of course, more so, I'm sure you would be able to understand this, is that when it comes to the teachers, they're very much more about putting us down. They don't want us to seem like we're smarter than them, which happens a lot of the time. A lot of the time. So how old are you then, Sammy?
Yeah. 25.
25. You got a long way to go in the UK if you're going to stay there for
Right.
some time. You got a long way to go. So 10 years. Have you seen any changes in the culture or attitudes in people in that time?
I don't know really. I don't pay attention. I live under a rock.
Oh, okay. That's a good way to be, except the world
It
isn't
is.
looking very good right now. The world is not looking that good. So the way that it is at the moment is that people are definitely having to come out of their rocks. There's going to be nowhere to hide for the majority of the world soon. So enjoy your time under the rock. Enjoy
Yes.
it while you're still there, and just know that time is going to change very soon. I'm just going to move my head from behind that request button. Good to see you, Rasta Pinky. Good to see you. Okay, Sammy's, thank you so much. Okay, we've got Sarah James on the panel as well. Sarah, how are you? Sarah, sorry. Sarah.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. You've got a woman's name, but you are under a man's voice.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, why would that be?
Well, it's just a random account I made.
Oh, but why would you choose a woman's name and not a man's name?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it.
It's not a problem, but it's just a bit odd. That's all. Like
Yeah.
if you're a man, why don't you pick a man's name? What's the reason that you chose a woman's name? You
Yeah,
wanted to pretend to be a woman, or
yeah, exactly,
you
no.
identify as a woman, as a
Yeah,
female?
I'm trans, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You've just decided you're trans in this moment.
Yeah,
Cool.
man.
Okay, cool. So, what would you like to add to the topic today? So, it says English people, why do they love racism, pretending to be smart, disliking others, and lying so much?
Yeah,
What would you
I
like to
think
add?
that whole title's a straw man. Uh,
What do you mean by that?
so like it's not actually it's a statement, it's just like well, you don't have like any like basis on it.
I don't have any basis on it.
Yeah, you don't have like any like anything to go with it.
What do you mean I don't have? The topic is here to
Wait,
discuss.
can you give me,
So you
yeah, can
either
you give me,
agree with it or you disagree with it.
obviously I disagree because it's just a straw
Okay.
man.
Okay. So what? So you disagree that English people love racism,
Yeah.
but you understand that racism lives in the UK, right?
Yeah, and I think it goes both ways.
No, no. Stick to
Yeah.
the topic. Stick to the
Wait,
topic.
no.
Let's try very hard, Sarah. You agree that racism lives in the UK. Okay.
Yeah, but we can say this for both.
Listen, wait, Sarah, you have to wait first to actually understand the conversation because immediately you've tried to dismiss the whole subject. I'm here to hold your hand through this, okay? So the topic, we'll break it down piece by piece. You understand that racism lives within the UK. Okay, so let's start with that point. Do you know who created race and racism, Sarah?
Yeah, it was Europeans, but I still don't have
Okay,
this.
no, there's no but. There's no but. One bit at a time. You're already trying to. Why? This is a conversation. My space is not a debate space, okay? It's not a debate space. It is where we talk about actually real subjects and real issues. So you've agreed that racism lives in the UK. You also understand that racism is built by white Europeans. You understand that.
Sure, but this has nothing
We've
to
got to
wait.
that point. Sarah.
Can I clarify something?
Sarah,
This has nothing to do with modern day.
Sarah, wait. No, why? You seem like you can't quite control yourself a bit. I'm trying to have a back and forth with you. Okay, you've said we'll start again. I'd like to be able to move forward with the conversation, but already you're trying to stop.
No, because it has no.
Relax, Sarah, relax. I have to keep muting you because you keep interrupting. I'm trying to help you go forward through the conversation, okay? I don't want to come across patronizing to you, but this is the way it is. And why are you in the comment section when I'm talking to you live on the panel here? But you're in the comment section.
Wait,
you're up
can
here.
I,
You're a bit all over the place, Sarah. You're a bit all over the place. No, you can't because you've come up here again and tried to disagree with the subject. And I'm trying to help you understand the subject. People want to know now, and this is a question, Sarah. Are you actually over 18 years old?
Yeah, I am. I'm born 2007.
How old are you? How old does that make you?
18.
So you're just 18. Okay, so that's probably why you're struggling a little bit with this subject.
No,
I'm trying to break it down to you. I'm
commenting on it, bro.
Sarah.
You're not real.
How many times do I have to try to get you to just calm down for a bit? But this is what happens when it's a bit of a younger person.
Okay.
They very struggle.
Just state your point.
Sarah. Right, okay, this is the last time because otherwise I'm going to have to drop you, Sarah, because you're obviously very new to my panel, Sarah, and perhaps if you've been on other people's panels, people are very much used to actually you talking over them, and there's always kind of stuff going on, right? So here we take it our time and we actually discuss.
Just state your point. Just state your point.
My point is already on the prompt. You're disconnected. This is English language. Sarah, if you can't read English, and you can't be willing to hold an adult conversation, then this is not the space for you. Right, Angry Buddha, we've got you next on the panel. How are you today?
Hello, yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. How are you?
Good, I'm good. How are you? Oh, I've just asked that question. Okay, so what would you like to add to the topic today?
Yeah, I mean, you have said quite a lot. I agreed with everything you said. I would just like to add that obviously, when we talk about, can I say white supremacy?
We're calling it white narcissism because that's actually what it is.
Okay, so when we talk about that, we have to keep in mind why that it's an ideology. you know. And so I think a lot of people, they come on here and they think, oh, they're attacking me, they're attacking me. No, we're attacking the ideology. And if it hurt, if you get angry about it, well, that says more about you, right? But to answer the prompt, we, you know, back in the 17th century, and funny enough, I don't think a lot of English people know this. Back in before the 17th century, English people never referred to themselves as white. It was only when they encountered people of dark complexion, such as us, that they started referring to themselves as white. So that within itself says a lot, right? Because when they encountered us, they started to oppress us. And the reason why I bring that up is because some of their whole identity is tied into oppressing others, right? And I think that's why a lot of people, they still have this hate. They need to keep coming into our spaces and telling us how stupid we are, how bad we are. Because if they don't do that, they start feeling, what's it called, fragile and inferior. So they have to keep that up. They have to keep the narrative going. And that's why they're always on X, posting all this pseudoscience and
Lord have
yeah.
mercy, X,
So
something special in that
yeah,
place. Yeah.
the beautiful thing about it, just like misogyny, any English person can deconstruct. And it's hard, just like it's hard to deconstruct misogyny, because you first have to admit that you are a smexist or
Yeah.
a racist.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people are not willing to do that. They'll say, "Oh, but I've got a black friend, so I can't be racist," you know. And you know, and their black friend's a Trump supporter,
Yeah.
you know. So I think that's what it is. It's the ideology that we need to attack, and we are doing it. We're dismantling it. The internet is helping it. It's gonna be done. It's gonna be done, because the beautiful thing about us, Fox, is that we don't have to lie. All we have to do is find the truth.
That part, yes, exactly. And that's what we're doing between us, right? Black and brown people, we are literally doing the work to undo all of the racism, all of the discrimination, all of the prejudice, all of the oppression. We're understanding what has been done to us, and all we're doing is talking about it. Absolutely true. And then, of course, it's not for us to try and educate English people. I mean, I, of course, have my subjects here, as you know, and I will take it as far as I want to, which isn't very far, to be honest with you, because it is for them to do their work and undo their colonial mindset to make sure that it doesn't repeat itself. So yeah, and this is something I always encourage Black and brown people, is just stop trying to educate the English people, white people on all this stuff. You know, it's for them to actually understand. There's plenty of books. We've been talking about this stuff for centuries. It's not as if these are new topics that we're discussing. This is things that have already been around for a long time. The only difference is that we can talk about these things more frequently, of course, in platforms like TikTok and whoever's using YouTube and X and Instagram, all those other sites, right? That's where the conversation comes more to a forefront. So yeah, I think it's just a really interesting time generally that we have us as people who are willing to have these discussions. And you have people like Sarah James, who's actually still trying to request up on the panel. I don't know why. I think it's so funny, Angry Buddha, right? You give people a chance to actually have an adult conversation, and they're unable to do so, clearly. And sometimes these topics, of course, are very difficult for English people. Of course, it's difficult. It's not an easy thing to undo and to learn the history that they have, right? It's not an easy thing. But what I struggle to understand with a lot of English people is the fact that they hate these topics so much, and they hate me talking about it, but they're always here. They're always here. They're always here.
We know, and we know why. But I would like to say that the reason why I do talk to racists sometimes is just to see how they think or what they believe, so I can go away and, you know, look it up, see if it's true, dismantle it, or confirm it. That's the only reason why I talk to racists. I'm making that very clear. The reason why I talk to racists is to find out what they think, go away and dismantle it or confirm it. And the reason why I say that is because I think a lot of us spend too much energy trying to convince people not to be racist.
Yeah, it's not possible.
It's never going to work, because the good English people, you can always tell a good English person. They come up to you, they might ask a question or what book. Then that's it. That's the end of the conversation. There's not, oh, but why, but why, but why, but why.
Yeah.
That's yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're very,
But
yeah, we know the people, and especially, you know, I've got some great people who come in the chat here, great people from the UK, from Britain, from Scotland, England, all over the place. White people I'm talking about, of course, who are mature enough to actually be involved in these conversations. They are, of course, understanding this space first and foremost. So I'm grateful that you guys are here, along with all the regulars. This is Beth. Good to see you, and good to see you, Leanne, as well. I saw you there in the chat. Rasta Pinky, I think, if I said hello to you as well. So yeah, and Mina as well. Good to see you. It's
I
a
just
case
need
of
I just need to drop down now, folks. I need to
okay.
quickly do something. But thank you so much for having me. Yeah, thank you.
No problem. It's always a pleasure to have you up. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you. No one, good to see you. You say racists aren't all dumb, most of which are terribly clever, and that's so dangerous. Do you know what? I actually disagree. You know, I actually disagree. I believe that most racists are really dumb, like really dumb. When we're talking about people like Donald Trump, etc., all those people that have rose to power, they've done so through aggression and manipulation. It doesn't mean that they're clever. It just means that they're actually more evil than others to be able to take advantage of others, you know? And talking to racists, especially me being on this panel, yeah, you can explain. Do you want to come up? Because I don't know if you've, oh, you're up. Yay! Come up. Yay, how are you?
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me, Fox. Big up
No
each and
problem.
every
It's always a
time.
pleasure. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
You see, I don't fear the everyday racist, the one that will drive down the street, pull out the window, and call me the N-word. They're idiots to me. You know, it's just sticks and stones, you know. But
Yeah.
the ones who I do fear are the teachers, are the people in a position of power. It's the police officer, it's the judge, it's the paramedic that won't give me the 5 extra minutes of CPR, that won't treat me equally to other people of, you know, that they're not racist to. There's the ones that really do affect me, the people in the position of power. And generally speaking, they're sly with it. They won't tell you that they're racist. They'll just withhold, you know, they'll stop you from getting a raise or a promotion or so on and so forth. So for me, it's the clever ones, it's the snidey ones, it's the ones who have got this power over you, who can affect your life. They're to me, they're the ones who truly are dangerous. Yeah, and they're also very hard to identify. So that's merely what I
Yeah,
meant.
that's true what you're saying. But again, I don't think that they're intelligent. I think that they just work the system that they were born into, right? All of this stuff comes very natural to them,
Privilege.
and it's not a type of intelligence, because you know when you have a conversation with these people, you end up being brain dead. So they're not smart, they're not clever, they're just, as I say, just not good people. They're not good people born into
I
a system
agree.
that's not good. You know, and they see us as the enemy. They see us as a problem. We intimidate them in every way, shape, or form just by
Yes.
breathing. Just by living, we upset them, you know. So it's been really pushed down into their DNA, which they don't even seem to realize how far that actually goes back. Yeah, this is Beth. We lose brain
You know
cells
what?
talking to them. Absolutely.
I will say that you made perfect sense. I take it back. I take back what I say. You know, I do, because they're not clever. They're not clever. They're not intelligent. There's nothing intelligent about it. If they were, they wouldn't be racist to begin with. So I take it back. You are spot on.
There
But
you
you
go. You
know,
got it.
but
Exactly.
I still fear the ones who are snidey with it. I
Yes,
do. But
absolutely. They
again,
are our biggest threat. Like I think all of us can say that we've had a situation where we have directly been affected in those ways. And C Archer, good to see you. You leave a lot of comments on my page, C Archer. He said psychopaths tend to gravitate towards the power positions. So you see, because I think you've been here, right, when I've talked about how English people it was a nation born from psychopaths. And so it birthed a nation of sociopaths and narcissists, you know, so it's very psychological, their being and how they treat other people. They don't seem to realize how their behavior affects others. They think it's very normal, which of course is a problem, which again comes down to the system that they were born into.
agreed. Miss Box, I just want to say big up to you each and every time. Again, I implore you, start a podcast, write a book, you know, do something. I'm going to go back into the chat. Thank you
I
for
know,
having me.
thank you. Thank you. I know you said that last time as well. And again, this all kind of pops around my mind. It pops around my mind like, oh, how's it going to happen? Again, the universe will guide me. and the book and the podcast and things like that will come out when it's time. Thank you so much. Kiss, it's always good to see you. I don't know what to call you. Kiss, Star Kiss. You say they're like vampires. They like to drain energy. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I don't know if you guys know about the radiators and drains concept. There are people who radiate energy and there are those who drain energy. And those of you who live in the UK very much know that that country is the most draining place. It is so draining, so draining. My goodness. Oh, there's a couple of people here who are from the spiritual chat last time. Thank you so much, Neon Blade and JJ as well. Good to see you. Yes, so, and you've asked about reptilians. Interesting conversation. We can bring that up. Yeah, what was I saying? So we're having these conversations and people, I don't know if people know or have come to any conclusions yet, but I said on the spiritual live that I did last time on, when was it? Monday I did it, that I believe that we are the aliens. Those of us who can communicate, those of us who can see the bigger picture, those of us who have empathy, those of us understand the earth, how it works, planets, animals, each other, blah, blah, blah. I feel like we're the aliens. And I feel like English people are the humans. You know, they built this crazy ass earth. And I feel like everything, as we know, historically, everything was cool before the Europeans came along. This planet was beautiful. Yes, there were some minor conflicts, but it went completely batshit crazy when the Europeans came along. And then even worse, when the English came along. They have been the destructors of humanity. So that's why I think we were the humans, we were the aliens who literally came, all of our energy was gathered in the universe and plopped on Earth. But then something went wrong and the Europeans were born, the Neanderthals were born. And they were the humans who were actually like meant to be on this planet, not meant to be on this planet, but yes, they came from the caves and they were actually born on Earth, right? Our energy was born elsewhere. And English people, British people, Europeans were born on Earth, which makes them the real humans, right? And they, of course, went and they spread their bullshit everywhere. Every continent, 171 countries. And in that, they still to this day try to say, black people are the problem, brown people are the problem. You guys are so aggressive. You guys are so violent. No, that's you people. You guys are the ones who are doing the stuff with the underagers. No, that's you people. You guys are the ones that are racist. No, that's you people. Again, you created race and racism. Everything that English people do and white people do is just project everything that they are. And of course, when we ask them to reflect upon themselves, you get the crash out. You get the absolute crash out, So Dylan came here with his very intelligent comment and says, mud huts still exist, by the way. So you see where English people's intelligence levels lie. I'm having a very deep conversation. As you guys who are always on my lives, you know we talk about really in-depth stuff. But then you get English people who come along and say, mud huts still exist, by the way. You know, and they're trying to say that they're the superior race and the superior people, but they can't keep up with the conversation. And they don't also realize that mud huts and mud houses actually live in the UK. And pre the Romans actually introducing them to bricks, they were living in houses of straw, mud and shit. Straw, mud and shit, Dylan, until the Romans came and saved your asses. And yes, again, Mina, and this is the thing about racists, right, is they always try to say that mud huts are a problem. They are great economical houses, much like the igloos of the Inuits, right? You have all of these houses that we all have as humans are relative to climate. They're relative to climate. And the fact is, English people, you always talk about this mud hut stuff, but they can afford the building. They can afford the material. They can afford to build them. You can't. You are panicking every single month when your mortgage payment is due and your rent, so you don't own it, and you could be kicked out of your place any minute. So who's actually winning? You don't own shit. You're in thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of debt all of the time. So, you know, It's very, very, very silly. Very silly. Okay, we've got somebody who wants to come up called Fantasy Cheese Basin. Interesting name. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi
are you?
there, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. I'm on a train actually, so I hope you can hear me okay.
I can hear you great. What would you like to add to the topic? I can hear you great. What would you like to add?
Answer every question you've got in the prompt. I can. I
Yes,
try
go
to
ahead.
answer every question. Why
Oh,
for English people, why do they love racism? Is that what the question is?
there's a lot there. Of
Yeah,
course,
we don't.
You could break it down. Okay, then
I don't believe we do.
Okay.
I don't believe we do love racism. I think it's indoctrinated. I think it's it started way back, and it's been indoctrinated into each and every person in some form or another. And we don't love it. I think we fight against it. Subconsciously, consciously, in all the other ways. And we're trying to get rid of it. Pretending to be smart. I think we all do that. I think we all like to like ourselves and think we're smart. Cleverer than the next guy.
I'm kind of glad you said what you said in the first bit, right? You said you agreed that, everyone's doing it. But the fact of the matter is that it's not enough. Fantasy Cheese Basin. There is not the reason why this is the prompt there is because it is too much of a problem. And what I find
when is enough enough? When is enough enough? How do
1 minute. Let me finish.
Yes, but what is enough?
1 minute. 1 minute. I'm trying to talk to you here. I've let you do that bit. I'm just going to talk to that first bit.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not speaking. Go ahead.
Okay. So, as a black person,
It's just I'm on a train. It's very difficult.
To what? To listen to what I have to say. Can I finish my point?
The internet is breaking up. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, all you need to do is just stop talking for a minute and then just listen, because then you don't need to worry about if you can't hear me or whatnot, because I haven't even started yet. So let me speak and then you can continue on, okay? So the reason why I say that English people are loving racism is because I'm a black person, okay? So of course, out of the two of us, I'm going to be experiencing more racism than you will. And for me personally, I even posted this on my stories, right? TikTok filters a lot of comments that I receive, a lot. And I actually didn't realize there was an area where you can actually see the comments that have been filtered. I actually don't have filters on my comments, right? But when I went to this area today, there was thousands of comments from English people, thousands, all racist. All of them. And, the fact of the matter is that racism, as you've rightly said, has been built into the culture. It's been built into every single system. But what's happening now is that English people are really holding on to that racism, and they're using it or being racist or using racism to its advantage at every opportunity that it can. So you might be talking about yourself, but really and truly, it's not enough English people who are saying what you're saying and showing the behavior, what you see. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does make sense.
Yeah, good. Okay, so the pretending to be smart part. So what I find is that, particularly this week, it happens a lot, right? I've been on this platform for a long time now, doing these TikTok lives and talking to people. We had a guy up here, first of all, I don't even know if you've even heard him. He was an 18-year-old, obviously very, very young. He's still here trying to come up onto the panel. And he was not even able to grasp a simple conversation. He was not able to do it. And it happens a lot on this panel. And most recently, how I saw this to be sort of manifested is, I'm sure you saw all the kerfuffle at the BAFTAs 2 weeks ago, right? You saw what happened there, the guy with the Tourette, the N-word being said. Do you remember, you saw all that, Fantasy?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So,
I heard about it.
Okay, so what happened from then is that I would run TikTok lives and ask questions about it, but it was all English people, right, who came up and trying to say that they know everything about Tourette's and everything about disabilities, while none of them actually have Tourette's themselves, none of them have disabilities, none of them had actually been previous advocates of disabilities, right? And so they were trying to think that they could educate me, someone who also doesn't know much about Tourette's and disabilities. I advocate everybody, by the way, but I don't specifically have knowledge about everything because I'm a human. I'm not going to know everything. But English people will come and be like, but I know this, I can tell you that. Like, no, you can't. You're not qualified. You're on the same level as me in terms of intelligence.
Right, well, that's where we need to be humble. We need to be humble in that regard, and then take a step back. And if that person is speaking sense, as we understand it, we should listen.
Yeah. But it takes a real.
We should work between
It
us.
takes a
We
real.
should work things out, right?
Just your signal is dropping in and out. I know you did say you're on the train, so I'm trying to.
Yes.
It's dropping in and out for us.
We should be humble enough to take it.
Yes, you're definitely right. Yes, absolutely. That's the point. It's being humble enough, but it's being mature enough, and it's actually knowing. And I talk a lot about ego on my platform. Okay, I talk a lot about the ego and whether people do actually have a relationship with their ego, and if they know whether to control it. A lot of people let their egos just run away with them. Fantasy, I am going to drop you. Sorry, I am going to drop you because it is very much, we can't hear you at the moment. So Fantasy, thank you so much for coming up. If you do get to a better signal area or you do reach your destination stop, please do come back up because it would be really good to have you up again as well. Thank you so much. Okay, we've got World Pro Wrestling up here as well. World Pro Wrestling, what would you like to add?
Good evening, Foxy. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm cool, you know.
Lovely.
But,
what would you like to add to the
well,
topic?
where it comes to racism, I mean, I'm mixed race. My dad was from Jamaica, from the Windrush generation. And obviously my mum's English, was born in England. I grew up in a town called Cheltenham, which I don't know if you know Cheltenham, where the Gold Cup is. So, you know, and my dad lived in Brixton. So I'd seen both the worlds. But to be honest with you, racism is rife in England at the moment. And it's even in a smarter way, because now all they have to say, it like work or something like that, or the police, if you start flashing your hands as a black person, they will quicker put the cuffs on you than they will put on a white person. And a lot of it is to do is because they're intimidated by us.
Yes. Yes.
I hate to say they're intimidated by us, because I look at when I'm training, just the gym in general. I go into a gym and I'm just lifting weights, and my I don't have to blag this. My body pumps up pretty quick. You know what I mean? And I think they get intimidated by seeing me that I don't have to push as hard as they do, and they're all going like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it just comes natural to me. And what they don't realise is our bodies are like that because they had us in fields whipping canes for 300 years. So eventually we're going to do something to grow.
That's actually not. And I feel like that's probably your white side coming through. We just had different genetics. It's nothing to do with us being enslaved, because you know that humanity goes back 300,000 years old, right? 300,000 years. And in being enslaved by Europeans was only 400 years. So I feel like that's your white side coming through there. So maybe let's update your black side. Let's update your black side a little bit more, so your knowledge is a bit more accurate, shall we?
I got a lot of knowledge of it. I'm a Maroon. My family actually rose against the English.
Well, then why would you, if you're from the Maroons, then why would you actually tie yourself to the enslavement? Because I don't even mention enslavement myself. But because I'm not half, because I'm not half English, I'm not half white, so I have no reason to actually mention that. But you mentioned it, and you think
and I'll tell you why. Another reason why I mentioned it is because, like, I'm a businessman, an entrepreneur. So when I'm going to, say, a bank to get a loan or something like that, or you go to the Royal Albert Hall to try and hire the place, they turn you down. It's not because of that. They're turning you down for a reason.
Yes. Yeah, we know that discrimination exists, and studies have showed this, newspapers will show this, and it definitely much is a case of. I'm going to mute you a second because we've got lots of background noise and we can't hear you very much. You're obviously probably making your dinner because it's going to be around dinner time.
May I finish my points that I was making now?
Yes, 1 minute. You can hear I'm talking to someone else. I'll just
Okay.
bring you in a minute. Just 1 minute. Thank you, Fantasy. Thank you. So yes, we have talked previously about some particular personality types and traits, such as things like being intimidated and jealousy and insecurity. We've talked a lot about those things. I think what's really interesting though, World Pro, is obviously I've picked up a lot so far on the fact that you've said that you're mixed race, and the mixed race experience obviously is very different to the Black experience. And I've said this very much openly, is that mixed race people, mixed ethnic people, mixed heritage people need to kind of understand your situation, and your experience is very different to the Black experience. Like really, you have your own experience that I can't relate to, because you have the advantages, the privilege of also being part white. Okay, you have the privilege of being part white, but also you feel and you experience the discrimination of being part Black as well, right? So that's a very unique experience, and it's something that I can't relate to. But I can also see, like I said, where you perhaps might have some internalized racism, I have to say. Like you might have some there, because that's what happens to a lot of Black people. And the fact that you brought up the enslavement part, as I said, that's not
Do you
our
ever shut the fuck up?
It's not our problem at all. It's
Do
not
you
our
ever shut the
thing.
fuck up?
So that person is dropped because clearly English people don't know how to control themselves. They really run away with themselves. English people prove my point so much every time they
Well,
come.
that one
So
person
that's,
did.
1 minute, Fantasy. I didn't unmute you. I didn't invite you as well, Fantasy. I'm still talking. English people, English men especially. I did have a men's panel before once actually, which didn't go very well because all they wanted to do was just talk and not actually just listen and involve in a back and forth conversation. It was really quite difficult
No,
to
I
do.
am
So,
listening to you.
Fantasy, why are you unmuting? This is 3 times I've just muted you. And guys in the chat, did you hear me say that I would bring Fantasy in when it's done? Did you guys hear that in the chat? Yes or no? Did you hear me say that? That I would bring Fantasy in when it's time?
My apologies.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I did. I mentioned it probably 3 times. Yes, I heard. So everybody heard it, Fantasy. For some reason, you didn't hear it. So please, don't unmute
my
yourself.
apologies. My apologies.
Yes, don't unmute yourself because you've been muted 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
Can you mute yourself, please?
Yeah, I can, yes.
Thank you. Now, see, this is the thing. As I say, I believe that a lot of people don't know that I run my spaces with decorum and that I run my spaces where we can all have conversation and we all get time to talk and we all get to hear each other, because you know what the UK live's about. Everybody is like bah, 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 over each other and you can't hear, and then everything just gets a mess. So yes, we are going to bring in you, Fantasy, now, because you're going to finish the point that you couldn't make earlier because your signal went down. Fantasy, yes.
Firstly, I do apologise if I was becoming, if I came across as arrogant.
Yes, you did. So yes, but yeah, you acknowledge that, and that's a good.
My humble apologies for that.
Good. Now you want to continue.
Disliking others, and yeah, the other point, disliking others and lying so much. Yes, we can dislike other people. Absolutely. I think that is possibly to do with, well, it's very complicated. I'm not sure I can answer it. It's a very complicated question, why we dislike other people, especially when they do nothing wrong.
Yeah. I think it's really something to pick up on, though.
Yes.
Because the disliking others is so apparent and it's such a strong feeling.
Unconditioned.
And I think also, what's really important to know is that generally English people have not liked themselves. I mean, when the English came to Britain, they didn't like the people that were there, and they were always fighting themselves. And they obviously didn't like the indigenous Britons that were there. They didn't integrate with Britain. They came and they took over. And, you know, what we're seeing a lot is, of course, the Scottish are still upset. The Welsh are kind of here and there. The Irish, of course, have very much a difficult relationship with England and Britain itself, obviously a divided country, a divided island. So I think it is a very sad way to be if you're always just disliking people. Like, you have to think about how that would feel inside. We've had this conversation before, right, Fantasy, that how much energy it actually takes to dislike people and to dislike others. It takes a lot.
I agree.
Of energy. Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Absolutely. So what is that?
So
what is
I
that
think,
all about the disliking other people?
Yeah, I mean, if it goes back to history, right, that part of the world and the English tribe comes from German, Dutch, and Danish, which is a very interesting mix. But of course, if we look at German history has also been very barbaric. So maybe there's like a part of the world where the vibration was just so low that the people that were birthed from there just managed to get a lot of negative energy, you know? And then it just kind of maybe spread.
Is that not indoctrination too? Is that not indoctrination throughout? Yeah.
Yeah, that too, most definitely. Yeah. But I definitely do believe in like energies and where people are in the world, because English people, you would definitely know this, right? And when you travel, how happy do you feel when you travel, when you're in another country, right? You feel great, like the sun is shining and just everything feels good. But when you go back to the UK, it's depression again. And it's been very much said that the UK, so you know Stonehenge, right? Stonehenge, of course, is an area that had amazing energy, right? Amazing positive energy from way back when. But what happened?
I don't know. I've never been to Stonehenge.
Okay, well, so if you look at sort of history and you look at paganism and you look at all the different wonders of the world, these were very, very deep, connected, spiritual, energetic sites where people used to actually feel a lot of positive energy around these places, right? But then I think it was in the 1970s that they tried to move, the Stonehenge for some reason. And people have said, scientists have said that it became broken. It actually broke part of the UK and part of the energetic line that was running through the UK, which made people be more depressed and more upset.
But
I haven't finished.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
The UK was voted the second most miserable country 2 years ago. The second most miserable, and it actually shot up. So yes, there's indoctrination, and I think there's definitely something to do with the earth as well, and energy is there too.
You may have a point. Can I come on to the fourth point, which was the lying?
Yes.
Is that not just pure self-preservation?
Yeah, could be, yes.
Why would somebody lie? There's the question I pose to you. Why would you lie about anything?
Yeah, to not face the truth of one situation.
Self-preservation, right?
Yeah. I definitely would agree there.
Now, again, why can't we be humble and womanly and man enough to take that hit?
Well, this is what it's about. I mean, I'm assuming that you probably spend quite some time on TikTok lives, and I would also assume that you might have found it hard yourself to have conversations with people, English people, that allow you to ask these kind of questions and to get decent answers. I feel that's probably going to be quite your situation.
I'm trying to find answers to everything.
Have you been in spaces where you're able to ask the questions without getting shouted down at? Oh, Fantasy, I think
it's abuse. As soon as I start answering questions to try to engage, it's abuse. I get abuse.
Yeah. Exactly,
I get pushed
exactly.
back.
It's a very,
I,
mm,
I,
yeah, it's a very difficult, very, very difficult situation to be in, being the awake or the awakening English person who is trying to undo all of the negative energy and the negative vibes and to lift themselves out of it, which I feel like this is something obviously that you're trying to do, fantasy. And it's a very difficult time because we're also seeing it. We're seeing other English people say, to other English people, you're a race traitor and you're this and you're that and you're that. And, they're very much fighting. Oh, I assume that your signal was gone because you were breaking up quite a lot there. Do feel free as well to come back again, Fantasy. If you get to your next station stop, that would be really good to speak to you again. And World Pro Wrestler, you've popped your camera on for us as well. There are some other things I assume that you want to add to the conversation.
No, not really. I'm just listening to what you're saying, really.
Okay.
As you said, it's the mixed race experience and the black experience. Trust me. I could say, I know what it's like. I've had it badly.
Yeah, I've mentioned this before that I have a mixed race niece and nephew that I very much worry for. I very much worry for because, of course, they have a white father, and I worry about how much work he's actually trying to do to help them understand their unique situation and their blackness, because and I have had quite a few mixed race people also come to this space and also be quite upset that their white parent has not provided enough of a support system or understood enough, because the thing I worry about a lot is the bullying in children and with young adults. Even me online, I get bullied as an adult, as an adult, I get bullied, right? So, I
I'm
can't
not
even.
interrupting you. Please don't tell me off.
Well, you haven't been told off so far yet. There's still time.
All right,
There's
thank
still
you.
time.
That must be the English side of me.
Yeah, maybe, probably. Yeah.
I'll,
Do you know what?
I'll go down the pub later and have a pint of beer and argue. I don't drink, but I'm joking. I understand what you're saying.
Do you know what? Yeah, because I've had spaces up here, right? And I said that I had an all male space, and it was the Englishmen that were so rude. Honestly, they could not control themselves at all. I did an all women's space, which was really great, so productive. Everybody was respectful. I even said to the women, everybody can unmute themselves, and have a free for all. People still muted and they still took their time. They were still so respectful. But when it was the men, oh Lord, my God, it was diabolical. It was so bad.
The World Cup's coming up soon in America, and I'm sure it's going to be the English people that cause the trouble as general, because we are hooligans.
As general, yeah, we know what happened.
And then where you say the English tribes come from Germany, that's I would agree with you that. But if you think about it, most of the tribes that come from Germany were barbarians.
Yeah.
Because they weren't Romans, they were savages that come out of trees, and they call us savages.
Yeah.
But if we look at our history, thousands of years ago, we were mathematicians and engineers. That's why I was kind of saying about the slave trade. I think I said it. Yeah, I think I said it in the wrong way. Sorry, it came over in I've had a long day probably. I just feel a bit negative and my English side is coming out of me.
Exactly. We need to oppress that stuff because I see the internal fight you're going to have there.
But I think with the racism thing, I think we're going back to tribalism. And I noticed it with wrestling as well. During the pandemic, there were a lot of wrestling people, like there was a big speaking out movement, obviously, with females being abused in the wrestling business and in the entertainment business in general. And a lot of people were like...
What do you mean by females? Do you mean women?
Yeah, female wrestlers, they were getting abused by male wrestlers. The wrestling business is it's the entertainment business, period. If you've got money, you can... Basically, I think you can get away with what you want. I've never been like that to anyone, personally. But I think, tribalism and stuff like that is bringing the racism out of people nowadays. I mean, I was born in 79, so I'm probably a little bit older than you. Only a little bit older.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Only a little bit. I'm going gracefully, but and that can happen to everyone. But when we talk about the Brixton riots in '81 and all the riots and stuff like that, I sadly can see all that started happening again. because people are just angry at the moment.
Yes.
And you know, with the English, you say English people. I hate to say that as all English people, because there are some good English people out there. Let's not kid ourselves now. But you see that what's going on with Donny over in America, Trump. I mean,
where is he from? Germany. It's the same. It's the same family, same people.
Well,
From
yeah,
Germany via Britain, and then they exported all their bullshit around the world, and it's very frustrating. But
we've got to be careful in case who's hanging. Got to be careful saying things
one minute,
like.
World Pro. 1 minute. James Eyre in the comments says we're the most multicultural place, yet we're racist. Shut the fuck up. It's like these people don't understand why the UK became so multicultural. They have such limited knowledge as to the multiculturalism. And at the same time, they believe that they're very welcoming. They believe that every single person and every single culture that has come to the UK was welcomed with open arms. There's never been any riots. There's never been any discrimination. There's never been any unalivements. There's never been any raping. There's never been any theft. Like they believe that in their mind. Like if you believe that Britain and the UK has been very multicultural and very welcoming, why do you love racism so much? Why do you like
because
just like
during
others? Why do you do all these things?
During the pandemic, did you notice like Anthony Joshua said black people should buy off black businesses, and everyone started going mad, and I'm like. I said to my friend, I went, right, I bought from that white chip shop down the road for 45 years, you know what I mean? And no one's ever complained. I said, well, I bet if I want to put one up and a lot of black people want to come and buy off me, is there something wrong with that then?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the thing. They really struggle when we say that we want to empower ourselves, because their problem is anytime it's been pro-white, it's actually anti-black. Whereas when we're pro-black, we're just pro-black, right? We're just pro-black. It's nothing to do with anyone else. Their pro-white means anti-black. So again, it is all their limitation and their existence has been about disliking others, and their existence is very paradoxical to ours, which is so funny because I had somebody on a live come up a couple of weeks ago trying to tell us that our existences are paradoxical, even though we've all been chilling in our lands and where we were from for hundreds of thousands of years. They were the ones who came, messed us all up, moved us all about the place, and still rely on us. And they tried to say that we are the ones who need them.
Well, it wasn't us that started messing with the animals, because God put us in a certain place, and we didn't go mess in the jungle and start nicking the elephant's tusk and stuff. That wasn't us.
Exactly.
We lived together in peace.
We were not having extramarital relationships with these animals. Hey, let's talk about that evolution.
That's bestiality.
Picture, right? That evolution picture, right? Well, that evolution picture, it goes from what? The gorilla up to the white man. Every single picture you see of the evolution picture, they will say, oh, we came from monkeys. Okay then, but how are you trying to call us that? Like, the evolution picture is you guys. You are on them pictures. You were bragging this whole time that you said you were evolved from monkeys, from apes. You guys said that. We didn't say that. You guys said that, and you made it very clear that you said you came from monkeys. You said that. You said that. You said that. You said that. You said you said that. You said that. You said that. So again, they're just trying to project all the time, and all their racism and all these kind of things. That's what they do. They say things, and then they don't hear what they actually say, and that's why I always have to repeat it back to them so they actually hear the things.
It's very sad, but when they go to places like Africa or the Caribbean, they love it.
Yeah, of course they love it. Of course they love it, because they're actually experiencing culture and good vibes and good food and all the things that they don't have.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is peace. Is peace in your heart. I think if I think the empire's crumbled, and I think they're very angry about that.
Yes, obviously, you can't go down without being very sort of upset about these things.
But it takes a lot.
James Eyre says, we have culture. James Eyre, I'm trying to invite you up to panel, but for some reason I can't do so. You're more than welcome to come up and discuss what you think British culture is, English culture is. Please do, because, this conversation has been going on for like 2 years now. I don't think anybody's been able to understand what English culture actually is. I have said a few things. It's like cheese rolling. You have cheese rolling, you have Morris dancing, but you guys don't even do that. You guys don't even do that. And like the thing is, if you want to do cheese rolling and Morris dancing and you feel like it's a bit out of fashion for you, why not update it? Why not come up with something cool? You know, you've got British culture, which of course is very multicultural. So why don't you take some influences from all these other cultures that you've got around you and update it? Just update it, like make it cool, man. Make it cool. But you don't want to do that because you don't like English culture because you're embarrassed by English culture. You're really embarrassed by English culture. Everybody out here is saying, well, we haven't taken anything from you. So what is actually gone? What is actually gone? Nothing. Nobody is stopping any English person from indulging in English culture. A few weeks ago, I had somebody say, oh, English culture is the pubs because Sadiq Khan is mayor of London. Like, what? He was like, yeah, Sadiq Khan is closing all the pubs. Sadiq Khan ain't closing no pubs. He was like, yeah, because Muslims don't want us to drink alcohol. Excuse me, I've moved to a Muslim country. We are like, it's not the UAE, by the way. It's not in the UAE. We have alcohol everywhere. We have it in the clubs. Like if you go to the UAE, you can actually drink. That's separate, by the way, in the UAE. You can drink. I've been there before. You can drink there too. So, you know, there is this thing that they tried to say, whilst not understanding how capitalism works, because it's £8.50 a pint. That's why the pubs are closing. It's expensive to drink. It's too expensive. You can't afford to do it. And I even said to them, oh, well, why don't you actually make a pub at home? Because that's nicer, right? You can have your friends over. You're not dealing with drunken idiots. And he didn't get it. But again, yeah, Ambry, good to see you. It's the alcoholism. Because they're depressed, right? English people are very depressed. And they drink you said that you're going to have a drink. This is your English side, I feel, coming through.
I don't drink.
Well,
I don't drink.
You said you're going to go for a drink. So English
I was
people
joking
are very
with you,
depressed.
sorry.
Okay, if you say so. English people don't realise that they actually are very depressed people. They're very depressed. And so when it comes around to Friday, right, they're like, oh my God, I can't wait to have a drink. I can't wait to have a drink. Instead, they should actually just have therapy. The NHS gives great therapy, but they won't do it. But also, and as we've seen, other countries absolutely hate it when Brits go. Summertime, go to Spain, go to the Netherlands, go to Bali, go to anywhere. The British are the worst and the most badly behaved people because they don't know how to control their alcohol. You go to Mediterranean countries, right? You go actually anywhere there's alcohol. People pace themselves. People can drink all day. I remember, right? So I used to go to Greece quite a lot, and I made some friends in Athens. And the way they could drink was insane. I could not keep up. But we were, again, throughout the day, just sporadically eating and drinking, having a great time. I was like, oh, and actually it was me and the Americans. There was 2 American guys as well. And we were both like, oh, and they said, this is what happens. You foreign people, you don't pace yourself when it comes to this kind of stuff. I felt like I was pacing myself, but apparently not pacing myself enough, right? So English people, they don't know how to handle their drink. They don't know how to handle their drink. I've trained myself more. I had university to train myself. So now I've trained myself in my older age to be able to handle alcohol. And I also am very aware of my limits. Whereas English people don't know their limits when it comes to alcohol.
I don't drink because my mum's father drank a lot and he used to get nasty. So I don't. I prefer just to stay away from it.
Yeah, it's much.
I wouldn't like that to be me.
Yeah.
I don't believe,
If you have a self-awareness when it comes to alcohol and you have your limit, then alcohol, of course, can be very enjoyable. And that's the point. It's like to get you a little bit loose, but this is the thing, like, it's embarrassing. How is it that you can have TV shows in the UK about drunken and disorderly behavior? Like, they have TV shows on almost every channel. Oh, this person has gone to this guy. Oh, when those police stop chase TV shows as well. I saw somebody I knew from school on there one time. I was so embarrassed. Yeah, she was drunk on the street. I was like, oh my God, I used to go to school with that girl. It's just embarrassing. It's just really embarrassing. And if English people do wake up and try to understand that actually the world is watching.
I suppose you only have to watch EastEnders, really, don't you?
Yeah.
They're all at the Queen Vic, aren't they?
Yes, exactly. Right, we've got somebody else on the panel here who wants to come up and make some discussion. I can't pronounce their name, but yes, do you want to introduce yourself?
My name's just Darren. It's
Darren.
Aramaic for chosen. That's my name. Yeah. So obviously,
Okay,
I just
Darren, what
wanted to
would you
come up
like
and
to?
say, I think people are too.
Hmm?
Yeah, I just think people are too concentrated on racism instead of looking at the bigger picture, like the PDFs that are all over, the globe. You know what I mean? I think racism's a distraction, and it always will be a distraction.
It's not really a distraction when it actually still affects people. It still affects people every single day. And the PDFs are also racist as well. So, yeah. Oppression comes in many forms, many forms. And you don't just erase one or the other, they both can exist.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that in that sense. But what's more important? People's feelings or children getting molested.
Excuse me, people have been unalived for centuries due to racism.
But not in
Like
centuries
millions
though.
of people, millions
You're
of
talking
people
if
get
that's the
millions of people
that's
get unalived and have been alive throughout history due to racism. They're still
that's the
discriminated
past.
against today.
Yeah,
Today,
of course.
racism
Yeah.
exists. Racism. So what's going on in Iran? Okay, today we're talking about today. What's going on in Iran? Is that to do with racism? Yes or no?
Um, I don't
Yes, it
think
is.
so.
You're
No.
taking too long because you're trying to come up with an answer that is actually not. You're going
My
to try and
opinion.
go around the houses and try to be like, no, it's not. Yes, even in the chat, they understand fascism and racism. Yes, it is. It is. It is a racist situation because how is it that we keep having all of these double standards, right? There's always these double standards when it comes to the Ukrainians. Oh, the Ukrainians, they're the victims. We need to make sure that they come to our country and have everything that we can give them, money, housing, la la la. Same with Palestinians, right? Same with the Palestinian issue. Brown people,
Why don't
oh,
we
we're not
look
going to
after
help
our
them.
own
We're not going to
first
help them.
then?
We're not going to help them.
I don't agree with I don't agree with war in any sort of aspect, regardless where the
And
Ukraine,
racism
Palestine.
is included in war. You can't, as I've
Of
said,
course it is.
you cannot erase one or the other. We can have a separate conversation about the PDFs. I could have also put that, and I should have put on there, why do English people love paedophilia as well at the same time? I missed that part. Maybe let me update this actually. I'm going to update the background. So thank you so much for reminding me that they also do like that too. So I'm actually going to update the conversation. So if you want to talk about the PDF files, please go ahead.
I just mean, I could go on about it if you want. I just don't want to chew
Yeah,
your
I've
ear
said
off.
you can now because you brought it
Yeah.
up. Go ahead, talk about how the English people and all the British people are PDFs now, please.
Well, not all the English people and British people, because that would be labeling yourself. Because you're
Well,
British,
I'm not
right?
English, am I? I'm
But
not
you're
English,
British,
am I?
right? But you're British,
British
right?
people. I'm
No,
part British, only because it's
ah,
my nationality and where I was born. It's not obviously my
so you're British
ethnicity.
then, not English. You're British. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm African, Caribbean, and British. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're British then, right?
Yeah.
That's what
Okay.
she said.
Well,
Yeah.
when we went,
I'm part British. So let's talk about the
when we went to,
paedophilia.
yeah, of course. One
Paedophilia, which
second.
is what
I'll
you're.
talk
What
about, I'll talk about colonizing. I'll talk about all.
No,
So
because you're going off the topic.
I'm not
Daniel,
going off the
is that your
topic.
name, Daniel? You brought up the paedophilia, okay?
Didn't bring up all
You
English
brought up the
people, did
PDF
I?
files. You brought up the PDF files. What do you want to say?
Labeling
about
all
the PDF
English
files?
people as
Huh?
PDF is a bit crazy, isn't it?
Then talk about the ones who are. Just the
Yeah, of
ones that
course.
are.
And I mean, I'm just going back like to it, like being in Parliament and grooming gangs and stuff like that. I mean, all over Rotherham, Rochdale, all these places. I mean, they
No,
don't want to
the
nationally.
subject
They don't
here
want to
is
nationally. They
English
don't want
people.
to. And this is the
The
bigger picture, but you won't
subject,
listen.
the
You don't want to
subject
listen.
is
You don't want to listen.
English
You're not letting me speak.
people. The subject is English people. Why do they love racism? And you came up here and you said that PDF files were worse. And I said, okay, talk about the English PDF files then, because we're very aware, very, very aware just how huge these. You're talking about
Well,
grooming gangs. We're talking about PDF rings that span countries.
well, I mean, if
You're
there
talking
was a
about
proper
maybe like
national
10
inquiry,
people.
if there
So
was a proper national inquiry, then you're not.
Daniel, you want to focus on 10 people in Rochdale, but you don't want to talk about the hundreds of people who actually are spanning across Europe and to the Americas. And do you know that, Daniel, the European PDF rings are mostly British people? Do you know that?
I believe you. I do. I really do. High-powered, white, middle-aged males. Yeah, I could believe that. But
Yeah.
like I said, you're not letting me speak. You're not letting me speak. So if you let me land, you'd probably understand where I was going with it. So like I said, with the National Inquiry, this is to do with race as well. So they'll label all the Muslim people and they'll say, "Oh, these are grooming." Da, 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 da. But you see the people that are actually in power at the top, like police chiefs and stuff like that. Social workers. Look at Epstein's files. He's been coming into Luton Airport. You know what I mean? He's had contact with adoption agencies and stuff like that. So it's one of them, you know what I mean? It's a very disturbing thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so do you understand where I was landing with? So yeah, race does play into it, yeah, because they tried labeling one group instead of the other, you know what I mean? And they'll always get away with it. It just seems to be more or less. What I was saying, don't you think we all need to come together? I won't speak on Luton Airport. Well, it was in Jeffrey Epstein's files, mate. So I was just go dive into it.
We need to come together and do
read
what?
yourself.
What do you want us to come together and do?
Stick together, innit? Stick together, man.
And do what?
Take down the bad people. That's what we need to do.
Connect. Yeah.
I don't
So
get that one.
you see what happens when English people really struggle to like put some sentences together. That's what happens.
I'm so sorry. I was holding my breath in for so long.
They have to bring the paedophile up, don't they?
So it's like it's always so funny when they do that. It's like they want to try to deflect the situation. Like, yeah, we can talk about the grooming gangs. But the funny thing is, it's like again, it is small fry in comparison. I'm not saying all of that shit is terrible. All of that stuff is absolutely awful. But they always deflect, and they never want to look at. We see it constantly, all of the time. And actually, I don't know if you guys have seen this. In the USA, oh my God, they've actually plotted everywhere in the USA where they're actually sharing underage images of boys and girls. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
You saw it. Horrendous.
And they were laughing. Bill Clinton was laughing with his lawyer.
I'm sorry, I just have to switch off when I see things like this because it's satanic. It's disgusting.
horrible.
It makes me feel sick. That's it comes to like when I hate to say it as well, like the English people sort of like bring Christianity up and then they start saying they don't believe in Jesus and stuff like that. Haven't they worked out Jesus weren't white and he definitely didn't have brown hair and he definitely weren't standing on green grass?
They don't read it enough, but they are. They're reading the Bible.
He'll have
Jesus is a white man.
He'll have a slick back hair next 10 years.
He can't have a ponytail, which might make him Iranian.
You know what's really funny about the Bible, right? It's like reading the Bible is not easy. And you see how much they struggled with Shakespeare to start with. And now all of a sudden they think that they're going to be fluent in like one of the world's oldest books. It's like and as we know, them reading anything full stop is a struggle. And they want to pick up the first book and it's the Bible.
No, but what I
That's
mean
the worst book.
If you look at like history, they've tried to.
It's like picking up War and